Hey YouTube, so let's talk about the big news announced today for Kingdom Hearts 3, which I am actually really excited for. Big Hero 6 is coming. I really should have put in my world list. I didn't, but it should be there. Anyway, so to recap what we know, Baymax 1.0, which was left in the void at the end of Big Hero 6, is going to be possessed by darkness. We are not entirely sure if it's going to be a Nort darkness or random darkness, but either way, Baymax is going to be possessed and possibly turn into a Heartless. They've already showed some concept art of it, and Sora fighting Baymax 1.0 on Baymax 2.0 looks really cool, and so I am really honestly excited for it, and I think having it take place post-movie is a really good twist on what generally happens in Kingdom Hearts. One thing I do want to point out, though, is that the void in Big Hero 6 does look strikingly similar to the Betwixt and Between in Kingdom Hearts. So instead of it being a random void or an alternate dimension, he could actually have been in between worlds, along with Hero and the person that they go to rescue at the end. So I think that does actually offer up a lot of very interesting story possibilities. I think some of the stuff that will happen in game is the fact, well, to start off with, well, we know that Baymax 2.0 is going to be there, but Hero probably will be there, but the rest of Big Hero 6 is a bit unknown. Kingdom Hearts is not known for actually putting in characters. They have entire worlds that seem to be filmed by just 3 people. That's definitely something they could work on. So I don't know whether the rest of the 6 will be there, if Aunt Cass will be there, how they're going to deal with Tadashi, but, then we'll see how that calls out. I think what will probably end up happening is 2.0 Baymax will end up fighting the Heartless by using his defibrillator, which will honestly really be kind of cute. But I also think that Hero is going to suffer a lot when he sees what has happened to 1.0 Baymax. Because 1.0 Baymax is the Baymax that Tadashi built himself. And while the programming for 1.0 Baymax is now in 2.0 Baymax, which is the one that Hero built, that still is all that Hero has left of Tadashi. So seeing something from Tadashi get corrupted like that by the darkness it's definitely going to be hard for Hero. And I think what we could also end up seeing, though, is Sora finally getting some mental help that he needs. Sora has been suffering these ever since early in Kingdom Hearts 2, when he started realizing that he had other people and other hearts inside of him. And as the games have gone on, Sora has been getting more and more fractured. I think Baymax is going to be a good way to try to fix him and pull him back together. Baymax is equipped to work with mental health, so if he scans Sora and realizes that Sora is suffering, I think Baymax will be Baymax and try to help. I will also think it's going to be kind of interesting to see how much 2.0 Baymax will interact with 1.0 Baymax. So I think that would be a double like that is always a very interesting story if done correctly. And there have been a lot of doubles traditionally in Kingdom Hearts. I mean, Master Xehanort technically has 4 parts of him wandering around. That's not counting people like Sayax or Zigbar. His young self, his older self, Ansem and Xemnas are all technically versions of him. And then Sora's got his own double stuff going on with Roxas and Ven also. And the last thing I think for what could happen in the game is they could also discuss whether Baymax has a heart, and if so, which version. Because 1.0 is the one that went under the character development to get a heart, if he does have one, but all that got transferred over to 2.0 with the chip. So, we'll see what happens. I think for some other notes I want to bring up really quick is I do want to see Baymax, who's very science-based, discuss what is the nature of heart and heartless and nobodies with one of the characters heavily involved in Kingdom Hearts, be it Sora, Leon, Ansem, or someone else, because Baymax will be able to actually finally answer a question that's been bugging me for literally years. Do the Heartless and Nobodies have cardiology hearts that beat. Baymax is the perfect character to answer that, and it would be kind of funny to have a debate go on just in the background with whatever Baymax, and just argue, just him just saying what he knows and the other one getting frustrated. I also think that 1.0 Baymax will either be cleansed and taken to Radiant Garden, or cleansed and destroyed in some way, but definitely be undergo something. And if 1.0 Baymax is taken back to Radiant Gardens, I think he will be a character you can see around and who can help, possibly add in side quests. I think he'll be a good fit, especially if he also gets a healthcare chip. And so both 1.0 and 2.0 have healthcare chips. And finally, Sora, as I mentioned earlier, does have multiple hearts. He's got his own heart. He's got Ven's heart. Possibly Roxas's heart, considering Roxas probably developed one. We've got Xion in there. And then, possibly Vanitas too. Can Baymax sense them? It would be interesting to see, whether that actually ends up playing, because Baymax can see maybe how he's being hurt in another way. So those are just my initial thoughts on Kingdom Hearts and Big Hero 6. There is a lot of potential here, and I would like to see quite a few of these play out. Specifically, the discussion about Tadashi and Death, about doubles. Tadashi is a good way to see whether or not death exists in Kingdom Hearts. Everyone else either hasn't died or died so long ago that it doesn't particularly matter. And some of the ones who have died, such as the organization, has come back. The only person who's explicitly died and not come back so far is at least not known to come back, as Master Ericus. So I think having Tadashi in there would be interesting. And I do think if Sora somehow found Tadashi's heart and protected it, that could lead to some interesting ideas. But I'll see how this goes on further when we get more information. There's going to be a D23 in Japan in November 6th to November 8th, and Kingdom Hearts is going to be there, so we'll probably find out more. Considering the nature of San Francisco, I wouldn't be surprised if we see more of Big Hero 6 there, along with another world reveal, or more of a story reveal or a date, because Amazon is listing it coming out at the end of this year, and that's clearly not going to happen unless they're way farther on it than we think. So, yeah, it'll be interesting to see what happens and what plays out. See you soon.